All right, let's get right to it. Let's talk Cal first.
Yeah.
50-49. Not exactly the score I would have predicted. In
Yeah.
what ways was the game kind of what you thought it would be, and in what ways were you surprised by what happened?
Well, in the ways I thought it would be, is probably the offense. They were back clicking. They were able to move the ball. Um, I just, I don't know. I'm shocked as everybody else. I seen Sua on Jim Hill's show, and he's like, being brutally honest. Like, we got to be honest about what we are right now. We're not
Yeah.
really good. Our defense is, I guess they're putting out what I guess they can.
Yeah.
I don't know if again, I said this last week. I don't like to, put anybody's job in jeopardy or talk about anybody's job. So I'm not gonna say names, right? But there has to be some type of something that changes within them, the kids up front in that defense. Like um I'm not I'm not seeing no difference than when I don't know when Clay Helton was the head coach of some of these guys. Like it's I, I believe we have way more talent. It's just not showing up on film. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way you give up 49 points to Cal. Like I'm as confused as anybody else. So like I don't really have the answers anymore. I come in here and I try to gas these guys up or try to make us believe, but it's like sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. We're a decent team that
Yeah.
sometimes plays above the magnitude of what we are. And I think that's basically, or not basically, I think that's mostly relied upon because of Caleb Williams.
I want to ask this question, and I don't know if it comes across in the right way, but when I watch the game, I understand that it's, good teams find a way to win, right? Like, I understand,
Right.
I've heard that my whole life in media, but when I watch this game, did USC find a way to win, or did Cal find a way to lose this game? When you look at kind of what went down. I think you're frozen. You hear me? Sir?
Yeah,
There
I
we
can
go.
see. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So, did you hear the question?
I can no. I heard the beginning of it.
Okay. So, did USC find a way to win the game, or did Cal lose the game?
I mean, if Cal found a way to lose the game, they put 49 points up on us. Didn't they go for two or something? We just like, let's be realistic. Like, it's not like we were dominating the whole game and Cal had a onslaught of something, and it's like, dang, or we, had some mishaps. No, it was like Cal stuck with us the whole game. And like Sua said again, because I listened to what he's saying, the number one running back, if he doesn't get hurt, who knows how this game
Game
ends
would have
up and
ended.
how
Yeah.
it turns out. We'd had no answer for him. It's like I don't know. When you look at it, it looks like players are out of their gaps. There's players doing too much that they're not filling the right gap, and that's what I remember. Like I know we always draw parallels. We always talk about the past of the great. What I do remember is like when we were playing, is nobody tried to be extraordinary or do anything greater than it was. Do your job.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to lock up the C gap, stay in the C gap. If you have the A gap, get in the A gap. Like everybody's relying on somebody else to do. Well, I'm relying on, Matt Leinart to do his job, which he's relying on, Reggie Bush, which we're relying on Ryan Khalil, Sam Baker. Everybody knows that the guy next to him is going to do their job. And that's all I need you to do. If you do your job and I do my job, the play or everything works cohesively. If you try to go above and beyond, or you know, oh, this time I'm gonna shoot inside and hopefully, like, I don't know. That I feel like that's when I see the big plays happening, when
Yeah.
people try to go above and beyond and not just do their job. Can we blame that all on the guy that caused the defenses? I don't know. I don't know what's being said, and
Yeah.
it's not like anybody's coming out and arguing their side. It's not like, well, I take that back. There was an argument that said that we didn't see a certain play, and then come to find out that same play had just been ran a couple weeks before, and so clearly people aren't studying game film.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know if the players. I don't know if it's a combination of both, but if you see stuff that pops up on film a week before, or 2 weeks before, and you're not prepared for it, then clearly you're not studying what you need to be studying.
How frustrating. I mean, as someone who played for one of, if not the best team in USC history, like for someone like Caleb, who is playing well still, like how
Yeah.
frustrating do you think these last couple of games are for him? Like, even though they won on Saturday, to like go out there and put up 50 points and then to almost lose. Like, how frustrating is that week after week? And how does a college kid sort of like handle that?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure because I only lost two, so I can't. I don't understand. I can't sympathize or even understand. But one thing I do know is Caleb is built different.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a player that reflects himself off wins and losses. I think that he's in a struggle with the team just as well. So if the team's not playing well and he's playing well, I still believe that he feels that he's not playing well. And I feel like he still believes that he can do more. And that's the true testament, and that's what you want in your leader. We obviously have no complaints in him. We have no complaints in a lot of stuff going on. It's just that when is the big play going to happen, or when are the big stops going to happen? Like, when are we going to make the play that the other teams are making on us? Like, you can't tell me that those guys are better athletes. There's no way, man. You can't tell me that the quarterback from Utah is better than Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
You
It's just
can't.
not even a question.
Right. There's night and day. I don't know. I'm shocked still, and I'm lost. I'm trying to find the words, or I'm just trying to figure out where are they getting caught up and losing the confidence, the competition, the I don't know, the cockiness, the want to. That there's so many different words that come to mind when it's a Trojan. It's like, but when are they going to turn this up? Like, like, I don't know where, in what conversation, or what, where they're losing it, because I still see, I know what I'm seeing. Like, they're just not making a play. It's like I can see if they're just completely. It's like, no, we're not wrapping up. We're not getting the picks when we need to. We're not blocking on fourth down. We're not running the ball. It's just, I don't know. Right now, I can honestly say it's a combination of players and coaching as well. Because I don't think we're being put in the right spots, but I also don't think that. I mean, if the players are being put in the right spot, then they're going to shine. So, I mean, I can't just put it on them. That's why I say it's a combination of
Yeah.
coaching and players.
And I think it's so frustrating to watch, and then to watch like the post game press conferences, or to hear Lincoln talk about it after, because he's saying the right things, right? Like, the defense makes these big plays. You see Kalen Bullock get the pick six, and you're like, yeah, like those are game changing
Right.
plays. But overall, like, you gave up 49 points to Cal.
Yeah.
You gave up however many to ASU, to Arizona. Like, on a
Well,
big picture basis, like, I think it's frustrating for a fan base to watch and to try to see the coaching staff continue to defend it when, yes, they're right.
yeah,
Like, they are making these big stops, but the consistency just isn't there.
it's far from consistent. I think that's why I'm such a Nick Saban fan, because Nick's not going to get on that, the pedestal, or be up there and be like, hey, we made the. No, he's going to be like, we play like crap. Even
Yeah.
when Dion's out there, he's like, yeah, we put up 500 yards. Yeah, we absolutely look like dog doodle out there.
Yeah.
We could be played way better. But to hear him like, oh, we made it, I don't know if we're riding the wave too much. Like, stop riding the wave. And I think it starts up front with him. Like, let it be known. Like, listen, we're not playing nowhere near what we're capable of playing, especially like against Cal. Like, there's certain teams, or certain, when you go in, yes, the way we played Stanford earlier this year is how you're supposed to like treat the rest of these other Pac-12 teams. Like, yes, you might have a few bumps in the road and some teams that's going to play really hard against you. We get that, but
Yeah.
dude, you can't say, "Hey, oh, we made like, yeah, we won by 1 point against Cal in Cal." Like, I don't even know who the quarterback is. They had a backup running back. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was everything stacked up against them, and they still were one play away from ending our. Because who knows who goes in the tank? Who, if we do lose that game, who knows if Caleb plays for the rest of the season, if he even cares about playing? There's just so many things that goes with that. So I don't know. Yes, coach. I guess you're making the right. I know when you're a coach, you have to say certain things, but guess that's why I do like Saban and things like that. 'Cause when you hear
Sounds
the
like it
stories
is.
of him, it's not. I'm not beating around the bush. No, we have to play better.
That's
It's,
it.
it's like Bill Belichick, like, oh no, at quarterback we're decent, but we should play better. Or whatever it is, just call them out. Call them
Yep.
out on stuff. We're all adults here. I'd rather a coach tell me like it is than to go on there on the ESPN or whatever it may be, smiling and giggling like it's all good. When no damn well we have so many holes or so many things that's not going right. Tell these players like it
Yep.
is. I'm not saying you got to go to the media about every little thing, right? You
Yeah.
don't have to say, oh, this guy missed this tackle at this. No, but like you should say, hey, if there's a leader on our team, I expect him to play better.
Yeah.
We expect Bullock to do those type of plays.
Yeah, it should be the expectation if you're USC. And I think it's not like that anymore. It doesn't feel like that. And it felt kind of like that last year, which is why I think it's so confusing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, different playmakers. Jordan Addison alone, when you see him up in the NFL making plays, like if you have him on this team, it's a tremendous difference as well. You miss and you miss some players sometimes, or the honeymoon is like worn off, and now again,
Yeah.
we got some decent players playing a little higher than they normally play, and then you got the regular players just still playing at that level. Like I said though, with Bullock, like I expect him to make them plays.
100%.
He's on every list. He's one of those top safeties in the nation. So that's what I've grown accustomed to. The people like that, like the Adoris of the world. Like when you're on, like yes, when we need
Yeah.
you to make
It's
a
not a
play,
surprise.
something out of nowhere, that's what happens. The Zacks, he, my mind stays blown with this kid because I'm that's a positive I could walk away with every week. It's like whenever there's something that needs to be play made or something, it's like you
Does
give
it?
this kid the ball and he's going to find a way. That's what I like to see. Like there's no moment too big. Sometimes I feel like these moments get too big for these players, man. And sometimes that, I don't, I'm going to leave it there.
Well, a big moment coming on Saturday against Washington at home.
Yeah.
Number 5 team in the country. Honestly, we'll get to Oregon. I think Oregon should be ranked above Washington with the way Washington's been playing. That's neither here nor there. I think
Yeah.
obviously the Huskies present a challenge. I'm curious what you've seen from their offense, just with Penix Jr. and like the way that offense is playing throughout the season, like what you've seen from them.
I mean, Penix and the Washington offense is USC. It's the same difference. They have a lot of playmakers and wide outs. They got a running back that can hit the hole and he can gas you if you let him. But you also have the main guy, which is Mike Penix, and which is like Caleb. At any
Yeah.
time, if you allow him to get comfortable and start to believe in himself and know that he can get plays off on you, then that's when you create a whole different monster. Um, their defense is another thing. Though I've seen their defense is one of them defenses that yes they're going to find a way to not let you put up points. That's what they're built for. They're fast. They make plays. They have a safety, I think, or somebody number 3. I've seen him in he's a ball hawk. He's always in the play. So we have this is a very interesting and a great test for us coming up. I still believe in our guys tremendously. Um, what team is going to come out? Because this is, I think, homecoming, right? If I'm not mistaken, or this
I
is
believe
a
so,
family.
yeah.
It's a game for us. So it's like, and then we got Jen. Jen just came from Washington. This game is going to have so many ins and
Storylines,
outs to
yeah.
it and storylines that where people are going to be trying to make it about some stuff the absolute biggest storyline is Caleb versus Michael. Like, who's the guy, right? I'm anxious to see how it plays out. At the beginning of the year, I would throw these scores around and say like who I think will win. But at this point, like I can't. I'm not
No,
gonna play
I can't.
myself. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. Like I refuse to do that. What I want to do is see that these guys go out there and play hard and know what they're playing for. Like I hope that this week is like one of them weeks where they're drilling home that this is what we play for, and you still have everything to play for. Like what are we gonna do? I'm really anxious to see. I believe in our guys, like I said again. So I'm anxious to see what Lincoln is preaching and what these guys come out and give us.
Yeah, I think it'll be, on one hand, I'm fully confident that because of the Michael Caleb storyline, like I've heard it in Caleb interviews. I've seen it. Like he's such a competitive person. Like I can imagine his internal motivation to do well in this game is so high,
Right.
just because even though his numbers are amazing, people are like, Caleb's not that guy this season. Like so much of the media is like that. He's not on lists anymore. And I'm just like, all right.
Yeah,
So I can
they're
imagine the
crazy.
offense and Caleb are going to have a day. I am curious to see, like, when you see Washington's offense sort of get exposed a little bit over the last 2 weeks, like close game against Arizona, close game against Stanford, where Stanford lost that game because they couldn't convert on fourth
Right.
down. I'm just curious if USC's defense like sees that and says, okay, can we make the play? Can they make the play against Washington? I don't know.
Well, listen, if you study film, the tape never lies. So if we see these kids like out of position, or if we see like giving up big plays, or if we see stuff that we know popped up on film a couple of weeks ago and they can't defend it this week, then something's wrong and something's not being taught. That's what I can honestly say. But knowing the fact that you've seen that the Washington offense has struggled,
Mm-hmm.
it should give the defense some type of motivation to go out there and make some plays when they need to. Um, why not show the world who has the real best quarterback? And why don't you guys go out there and make it easy for Caleb? In a sense. But I'm looking forward to this showdown. It's gonna be one of them fight out or bang outs, shootouts, whatever you want to call it. I'm definitely excited to see this one though, because it's gonna show me, I think, where our team is going from here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can honestly say that, and I've been around a few great teams to know like what happens, when you lose a hard fought game, or what happens when things don't go your way. So I'm really, I keep saying anxious, but I am anxious to see this game because I want to see how we react and what goes on from there.
Last question on this Washington game. One player, one or two players that you think need to step up if USC is to get a win against Washington, both on offense and defense.
Well, we need, if Marshawn, if he's healthy, we
Yeah.
got to have a big run day. We gotta find a way to keep the clock running, keep the defense off the field a little bit. That's definitely the guy that I need to see step up again this week. I'm not saying that he hasn't. You have been doing your thing. He's been doing amazing. I just know that when they do give you opportunities, you got to find a way, to you step your foot on the gas and try to keep the defense off the field a little longer. And then also, I would like to see a big game from Damani. Like I want to see. I got to see something out of the corner. Like, I've seen him every week be right there to make the play. He's dead. I think it's time that he has that big game or
Yeah.
something. It just happens because I've seen it for weeks now that where he's been right there, and it's not that it's his fault at all. It's just like he's in that play or ready to make the play, and then something goes the opposite way. So I'm anxious to see him. I think he's one of those guys that if he can lock down the side of the field, we'll be all right.
And one just quick one popped into my brain. I'm curious if you were, I don't know, part of Big Noon Kickoff, part of College Game Day. They ask you, Lendell, are you picking USC in this game? Are you honestly picking USC in this game?
I'm always picking USC, whether we right or wrong. Now, when it comes to people might see my betting show, I have a betting show that I pick, and I didn't pick them on that, but it's a big difference you're when you got to pick a team for points or you got to
Yeah,
pick a team overall. Like I pick USC regardless, right? But when you got to say, are they going to win by 3 points or 2 points? You got to
you're not gonna say
sometimes,
that. Yeah.
and again, they only won by 1 point. So it's like, hey, no, I'm not right. You got to be smarter than that sometimes. But yeah, if I'm on game day, wherever I am, I'm a Trojan forever. I keep it on. I'm
Oh,
always
wait,
got
this way.
something on, so it's like, hey, I'm gonna ride with you guys to the end. It's that one meme, like, yeah, it's mine. I'm gonna stick by him. So, I'm excited though to see how this game plays out. This is gonna be one of those true testaments to see how these Trojans get the ball. So let's see what's going on.
Yeah, I think it tells us a lot. Will USC rise to the occasion, or will we see the same USC that we've seen for the last couple of weeks that's kind of coasted? So I
Right.
think it'll be interesting.
I'm so happy for this game.
Yeah, either we'll be really happy talking about it next week or really depressed and wondering if we went back 3 years.
Well, you know what? I can't even lie. that already kicked in. Like I lost to Notre Dame and being there, that depression already has set in, and so I don't think I could be more depressed than that. Like sometimes like you already the expectations were so high that
Yeah.
now where they're at, like now it's like for me, it's like I don't expect nothing super high either.
Yeah.
Like they can call it what they call it. I'm taking my Trojans, but to me, it's like, hey, if we do come back next week, Saturday, it's like we already knew based on a couple weeks performances. So
It is what it is.
right.
Well, thank you as always. It's always nice chatting with you. And I will talk to you next week. You're not going to be at the game this week, are you?
No, I think I'm skipping this week. I'll be at Oregon though. I got to go out to the Oregon just to see it and get in that atmosphere again. I don't mind it. I'm in love with the game of football, and it's nothing like being out there. So
You know
I
what?
definitely
USC
probably
wins this weekend. That game next week is a little more interesting.
way more interesting, right? And it's like we're still talking about something, and then if they win that one, who knows? So that's what I'm saying. If you're in that locker room and you believe, like,
Yeah.
okay, we did stumble. We stumbled for sure, but we still have everything to play for. What are we gonna do?
Yep. How will you respond? We shall see,
How
and we
will
will
we
talk
respond?
about it. All right. Thank
Right on.
you. Bye, Don.